Are you fed up watching countless YouTube videos telling you how to study effectively, understand, memorize, and recall information without getting any tangible results? Could it be that your favorite learning coach has been lying to you on how to get good grades, become the A plus student that you want to be, and achieve your academic dreams? Well, in this video, I'm gonna be exposing the 5 greatest misconceptions about learning that you have heard so far everywhere that might be limiting you from achieving your true academic dream. So let's delve into it and let's expose it so that we can become the best that we're supposed to be. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alfred Akpesi and I am a learning coach. I make learning easy for students. So if that is something you are interested in, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification button to get more of this content. Before we get into the misconception of learning, what is misconception? Misconception simply means, let me look for a simple way of saying it. It means a common false belief that is widely accepted and practiced, having no concrete facts and science-based evidence. Do you understand? So it's widely accepted. It's an ideology, widely accepted. A lot of people practice it, but there's no basis for it. There's no concrete fact, or is there science-based evidence proving the fact that this method of learning actually works? So the first one I want to tell you about is study smart, not hard. This is one of the greatest misconceptions I've heard so far. You know why? Because a lot of us as human, we are trying to get a result without putting in the work. So we want to achieve 80% of the results and put in 20% of the effort. We are always looking for a way out. And we as academic coaches, what we usually do is we put attractive titles and attractive thumbnails just to get you to click our video and watch. And we'll give you the same falsified information over and over again. But you have found out that something is wrong with that process. So I'm going to be exposing the truth to you. I will expose the lie and tell you the truth on how to really study smart to get good results. The first thing I will do is I want to ask you 2 questions and I want you to really write down your answer or mind or know your answer in your mind. The first one is smart work the opposite of hard work? And the second question is, if there's any skill that you really want to learn that you should pay attention to in order to get good grades and become an A plus student, which practice or which activity, which skill are you going to choose? You see, we always run away from work. We always do. But the truth is, whenever I personally, as a student, hear the term study smart, not hard, I actually think smart simply means easy work. And that's the lie. That's not true in our conscious mind, but the ideology we move with is that smart work is actually easier than hard work. And that's not true because we all know that the opposite of hard is easy and the opposite of smart is stupid. So the right concept that you should have actually have in order to study smart is this. So please take note. This is where I tell you the truth and make sure you note it. So I'll say it slowly so that you get it. All right. Smart work does not negate hard work. It doesn't remove hard work from the picture. There is still a work to be done in order to achieve your academic dream. This is smart work. Smart work simply means using the best strategy to overcome a challenge or achieve your goal. Do you understand? And then we view hard work as a useless work, something we do over and over again, and there's no result. And that's not true. The truth is, you still need to put in the energy, the work to achieve your goal. What smart work actually does is that it directs that energy using the best strategy, considering all the things you know about learning, the science of learning, the psychology of learning, the physiology of learning, the brain science behind learning, considering all those things and then choosing the best strategy to read. That's what smart work is. So smart work does not tell you you don't need to put in the energy. There is still work to be done in smart work. Do you understand? And then the second question I'd ask you about the one skill that you need in order to learn is paying attention. Do you understand? If let me just ask you a question. If you have okay, which hard work could you possibly put to study? Which hard work will you even put to study? Can you mention some of those hard work that you need to put in to study? There's only one, and that's paying attention. You pay attention to what you are listening in class. You pay attention to what you are reading. You pay attention to how you memorize. You pay attention to how you recall. You pay attention to your emotions. You now notice that every skill that we teach when it comes to learning is to boost your attention, because attention is the primary tool you use to acquire knowledge and to learn new behavior. Do you understand? So smart work does not remove hard work from the picture. It actually means using the best strategy in order to achieve the required goal. Does that make sense? Second misconception is that we study less and learn more. What? There are actually people, especially students, who believe there is an opportunity for you to study less and learn more. And it's true. At some point it is true, but if you look at the facts and the science-based evidence, it's not true, because it really takes time to master a skill. It takes time to really learn an instrument and to learn things. We live in a generation where we like instant gratification. We just want to put in 30 minutes, into the work and just get the result and get out. But that's not true. You understand? For you to truly master a skill, for you to truly learn, you need to put in the work. Let's assume I have a 50-page handout and my friend who also have the same course to write. Yeah, for a test. And then I put in 30 minutes considering everything I know about learning skill. And then my friend put in 2 hours considering he also knows things about learning skill. Who do you think will perform better? Who have a better chance to perform well in that test? Of course, he has a better chance. Why? Because he pay attention. The meaning of attention is allocated time. That's what it means. Just to allocate some time to a particular activity. That's the meaning of attention. So the right concept you should have is this. Don't judge yourself by the time you spent reading. Instead, judge yourself by the level of understanding that you get. Because for every new discovery we have in the world, every genius that we all admire, Albert Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, Edison, is it Edison, what's if? You understand? They put in the work, they use ample amount of time to achieve it. So you cannot remove time out of the equation. If you are in school, for example, for you to be a pharmacist, a bachelor of pharmacy, then you need to spend 5 years. Did you see that? It is actually time you spend in school. So it is important that we have the right mindset towards learning. Why am I saying this? Because it's a misconception. It's a false belief that is highly acceptable that you can actually study less and learn more. Considering everybody in the world have the same information about studying, about study skills, how to learn, how to memorize, how to understand, how to recall. What will be the difference? Time. You understand? So please take it serious and make sure you note it down whenever you feel you want to study less to achieve more. It is possible, but actually, if you look at it, you will not be the best that you are supposed to be. Third misconception that I've heard is you read once to retain all the information and to recall it. Well, this is true to some extent if you cram to pass a test or to pass an exam. But for you to sufficiently digest an information and understand it wholly, you need to read it more than once. You have to go through the material over again and over again. You know why? Because understanding comes in pieces. You don't just understand everything once when you are just seeing the information for the first time. There are two main reasons why you can't read an information once and retain it. And this is it. The first one is called the forgetting curve. Now, you have heard the concept before. It simply means that whatever you read, you tend to forget it over time, especially when you don't put it into practice. You understand? So if you read something today, in the next 3 days, you are likely to hold only about 50% of that information, even when you truly understood that information. You get. And then the second reason why it is hard for you to retain information when you read it once is the purging system of the brain. Now, what does that mean? It simply means every foreign information that gets to your head, the first thing your brain does is to push it out. You know why? Because it's not relevant to your brain. You don't know why you want to learn it. Do you get? So just the way your body push out foreign materials and foreign bodies out of your body, viruses, infection, so also there's that same mechanism in your brain that pushes out new information. So the best thing of the best practice you can do is to have a reason why you are learning it. In that way, your brain will perceive the information as relevant. Do you understand? That's how you deal with the purging system of the brain. Why are you learning what you are learning? Is it that relevant to you? You understand? The more whys you have, the deeper your why, the more you can retain the information. That is the right concept you should have. And if you want to deal with the forgetting curve, then the best strategy you have is called spaced repetition. You repeat the information periodically. So the science is this: if you read an information today, you should review that same information in the next 24 hours. Then you review it the next 3 days, then 1 week, then 2 weeks, then 1 month, then 3 months, then 6 months. The truth is, the moment you can go through with all these steps, something will happen to you. That information will literally become part of you. Did you see it? So the only way you deal with that forgetting curve is by space repetition. Because I've heard a lot of complaints. You hear somebody say, "Sir, anytime I read, I always forget." It's true. You always forget because you don't put it into practice. There are three forms of holistic learning you should know. Some information are to be understood, some information are to be memorized, and some information are to be practicalized. You understand? So if you only function in just one aspect, that is understanding, the other two is left out. Do you know what that means? You will always forget. Do you understand? So information you always see every day and put into practice, you won't forget it. I'm a pharmacist. I see paracetamol every day. I see drugs like amoxil every day. Do you know what happens? I don't forget them. I still remember the mechanism of action because I touch these drugs every day. I see it every day. So it has become part of me. Even if I don't read it for the next 10 years, I won't forget it. Do you know why? What happens is because I expose myself to that information every single day until it became part of me. Do you understand? So reading once and retain every information to recall it during an exam is a myth, is a commonly false belief that a lot of people accept and practice, and it is wrong. Do you understand? It is wrong. Except you are cramming to pass an exam, then you can do that. Do you understand? The fourth biggest misconception, please pay attention to this. The fifth one will blow your mind. The fourth misconception is rereading is the best way to learn. It is not. Rereading is not the best way to learn. I can tell you the truth. A study was done in England, Australia. I think I've spoken about it, where 10,000 students were participated in that interview. They asked them questions. How do you prepare for an exam? How do you truly read to pass an exam? And then they gave them a lot of options. Do you know what? After the exam, the students who practice recall perform better than those who reread, not read the handout over and over again. Do you understand? So please take it serious. There are other techniques of reading that is far much more better than reading it over and over again. One of such technique is the SQRRR technique. So efficient. I've not seen a technique that's as efficient as that, based on the science that backs it up. Do you understand? So please take it serious. And the fifth, but not the least, is your intelligence is fixed. This one is the biggest. In fact, if you can solve this misconception, you can account for the remaining ones. I'm telling you the truth. So let's get into it and let me explain it slowly. Now, in our mind, in our brains, we don't believe that intelligence is fixed. But subconsciously, the software that runs in our vein, that runs our life, actually believe that. There are a lot of us who believe we are average learners. We don't have any proof for it. We did not take any IQ test. We did not do any, we just believe so without concrete fact. And it's true, you might have some evidence here and there based on the results you have gotten, but that can be explained. It could be that you applied the wrong strategy to write an exam. That's why you always score average. You understand? Intelligence is not fixed. So let me debunk this ideology quickly. So there are two concepts that debunk the fact that your intelligence is fixed. And this is backed up by neuroscience. The first concept is called neuroplasticity. Now, in neuroplasticity is the ability of your brain to adapt to any kind of situation. So if the situation or challenge presents itself as hard, guess what? Your brain will toughen up. Do you understand? So your brain can survive any kind of condition. So if you feel you have a bulky nose and you don't think you can make it, yes, of course you can make it. You know why? Because your brain is malleable. It is elastic. It can enlarge itself to accommodate the hardness. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The bulkiness, you can actually go through it. Do you know that there was a time in your life when you considered that 4 times table was hard? There was a time when you considered 2 times table was hard. But guess what? Your brain enlarged and now you can do it without stress. Do you understand? There was a time you thought 9 times table was hard. There's a time you thought quadratic equation was hard, but guess what? It's one of the simplest thing you can do. Do you know what happened during all those time? Your brain adapted to the prevailing situation. It's called neuroplasticity. Do you understand? It's like plastic. Your brain can is malleable, right away. And then the second concept is called neurogenesis. Now, for learning to occur, there's a part of your brain called the limbic system. It has 5 parts. But the part I want us to take note of is the hippocampus. Now, the hippocampus have a special feature called neurogenesis. It simply means the production of new neurons. Now, what is a neuron? A neuron is a unit cell of the brain that is capable of holding information in conjunction with other cells. Do you understand? You have over 86 billion neurons in your head capable of holding information when they come together. So, information in your head is like neurons connected together, rewired together. So, if your brain has the ability to produce these neurons that can hold information, then it means your intelligence is not fixed. Let me give you a proof. Do you know no IQ test can tell you how intelligent you are? Oh yes. Let me shock you. Do you know Albert Einstein failed some courses while he was in school? Yes, Albert Einstein, that you know, the greatest, one of the greatest scientists of all time. It was Charles Darwin. I think you know Charles Darwin, the guy that came up with the theory of evolution. Yeah, he said something. He said his cousin was far much more wiser and smarter than him. But guess who came up with that evolution? Who came up with a life-changing theory? Did you see that? So because he was not smart, that did not determine how far he could go in his life. Do you know Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci had dyslexia? It means you have a problem of reading and writing. Imagine one of the best geniuses we have in the world have writing and reading problem, yet he's seen as a genius. Do you know if he would have taken an IQ test, he would have scored very, very low. But guess what? He's a genius now. Albert Einstein also said something. He said, I don't consider myself smarter. I'm paraphrasing now. I don't consider myself smarter than any man. If there's anything I've done specially, is that I have paid more attention to a specific thing for a very long time in such a way that I know the problem so well and I'm hungry enough to find the solution. Did you see that? So, for you to be special, you have to specialize. If I judge a fish by its ability to fly, I'll be wrong. If I judge a bird by its ability to swim, I will also be wrong. If I bring William Shakespeare and I give him calculus to solve, he'll perform badly. You know why? That is not his niche. His niche is in poetry. Do you understand? Your intelligence is amplified when you find your niche. Your niche simply means where you are interested in. That's what your niche is. It's an ecosystem where you can thrive excellently with less limitation and impedance. Do you understand? So if there is anything that is fixed here, it's your mindset. Your intelligence is not fixed. Only your mindset can be fixed. And a fixed mindset will be responsible for a fixed intelligence, even if you have all the odds that is against you. Do you understand? So in fact, do you know when you're talking about genius now, for example, do you know the greatest drive to becoming a genius is um your desire, your determination, and your motivation. Those are the greatest things, tools you should have if you want to be considered a genius. Do you get? So your intelligence can never be fixed. Why do we believe our intelligence is fixed? It's simple. I'll tell you that. It's because we have filled a lot of time and our experience is now above the right information. And that has moved to our subconscious mind. Remember, I told you that the subconscious mind controls 95% of our activity. So, whatever you decide in your conscious mind, you can hardly change what the subconscious mind will do. So, you can believe me now that your intelligence is not fixed, but your subconscious mind might be telling you something else. You understand? Because you are running with a different program. So your intelligence is not fixed. You can become the best in whatever field you want because your brain can adapt. You just have to have the right information and be ready to go through with it. So if this video really helped you, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification button. If you have any question, please drop it down and I will answer you personally. Thank you very much for watching. My name remains Alfred Apesi.